guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Lily. This is Lily's Shelf, and yes, this is the review for episode 2 and 3. I did go ahead and start combining some of these episodes because I am so far behind. This is my first time trying to review Love Island from like the jump. These episodes come quick. So if you are new here, I like to review TV shows, movies, and books. So if that sounds like a good time, go ahead and stick around, but we are going to jump right on into it. So let's get started. We pick up immediately after the bombshell drop. So the doors start to open and Melanie and Sincere go first. Of course, both of them are standing there, so they are geeked, they are gassed, they are excited that both of them have decided to stay in their couple. Up next, Anaya and KC. Anaya opens the door. The way that both of them are so very relieved to see each other, I absolutely loved it. I do love Anaya and KC's connection. I feel like they have something cute, something good here. Also, I am trying out a brand new background, as y'all can see, for my TV show reviews. I'll probably still do my book reviews and stuff over by my bookshelf, but let me know if y'all are feeling this new setup or not, okay? That neon sign is from my wedding. It says always and forever. I'm still trying to play around with the light setting so that it can be red. But up next are Trinity and Bryce. We already know that both of them are gone, so we swiftly move past them. Up next are Kenzie and Zach. Kenzie already knows that Zach most likely is gone with the bombshell, so like she comes out, she's disappointed but not surprised. Sean is next. Sean is thinking that Bia is about to be in front of that door. She absolutely is not. He said, now pause. I thought what we had was special.
I thought what we had was special!
Girl, where did you go? I mean, Bia did say she did not come all the way to Fiji to date men with children, and I appreciate her for sticking true to that. Then we find out the people who left will be spending the next 24 hours with the bombshells, and then tomorrow night everybody will kind of come back, and the bombshells will steal one boy and one girl. Okay, we starting to ramp things up. So everyone is debriefing, and the way Melanie and Kenzie were walking, and I was so real for being like, guys, can we slow down walking? Like, y'all are just walking so fast. So I also hollered because Sean, like, all the girls and all the guys go off together, right? So Sean is trying to tell the guys that he's like really upset at the fact that Bia did not choose him. But we swiftly move on from that to seeing Kenzie and how she is upset that Zach did not choose to stay in her couple, even though he told her point blank she is not his typical type. And then his typical type walked him to the villa. So it was like the way that y'all interactions didn't even give friendship. It really gave nothing. We switch over to the bombshells and the other islanders. Where they have them at, I think it was called Paradise Cove or something like that. It was pretty cute. I'm really loving like the set pieces for the villa this time. When Kata, Zach, and Bryce are talking, I'm sorry, but I hollered when Zach was asking what her background is. I feel like he was confirming the melanin. Like, when he found out that my girl Kata was melanated, I feel like that really just kicked it up for him. Like, he was already, you could tell, very excited to start getting to know her and stuff, but when he found out her background, he was just even more excited. And again, we saw the way that Charlie was moving last season. I feel like the brothers are similar in what they want from their partners, and I'm not mad at that. I'm not, because Kata is stunning, but also Kenzie is not a natural blonde. So I wonder why she never brought that up to Zach. Like, just give me a couple of weeks and you're gonna see my brown roots. So over to the girls, I feel like Trinity didn't really have much chemistry with Gabriel, who I might start calling Gabe from this point on. I don't know. I feel like him and Bia were connecting, but it wasn't really giving much. But when Gabe was talking, he was like, can you guess where I'm from? I cringed. I feel like a lot of these guys no longer know how to flirt because they're cute. And so they're leading with their attractiveness. And then once you start, you know, asking, because one thing about Trinity, she's going to ask some good questions. So once you start asking those, it kind of stops, because it's like I feel like they're not used to having to work for attention. And so there was no need for them to start working on their flirt game. Melanie is fishing for information on the female bombshell, and that was kind of cringe to me. Like, girl, it's day 2. Relax. This is Love Island. Relax. So then we find out that the bombshells get one-on-one dates with each person. I'm sorry. When Gabe, Bia, and Trinity were all in the room together, and Bia and Gabe started making out, the way Trinity's face was like, this is so awkward, that was me. But then, okay, so it's the nighttime now, right? Everybody's starting to go to sleep. Everybody's settling down for the night. When Kata and Zach start messing around, start kissing a little bit, when Bryce comes over and he's like, oh, let me in on this, I don't want to be left out. And Kata was like, sorry, you're gonna have to be left out for right now. If I was Bryce, I would have evaporated. I screamed. Oh my God. The way I would have had to get up out that bed and go sleep outside. But Sean is asking Kenzie what she wants for breakfast. And again, I feel like I didn't see Sean making Bia breakfast, but he's very quick to make Kenzie breakfast. So is he now realizing that he has to make breakfast for somebody, or he's gonna be left in the dust? Maybe, who knows? But we pop over to Paradise Cove with Bryce and Zach is saying that there might still be something with Trinity for Bryce. I don't think so. I feel like I want him around just so that Trinity can continue to have options, but I don't want them to forever stay in a couple. They don't give couple to me. They give really good friends. What cracked me up was that we popped back over to the villa. Kenzie is talking to Casey and Sincere, and it was cracking me up because every time she says something, the boys would go, and like perfect syncs. But was I crazy, or did it kind of seem like when Casey was asking if Kenzie would be open to like other things, if he was trying to put out some feelers out there to see if perhaps she might be interested in being pursued by him? I don't know. Maybe Casey's just also trying to see what options he has outside of Anaya. Because I do think that he likes her, but I also think that he is aware that this is Love Island and he's trying to see, what else might be out there for him. We pop back over to Paradise Cove. Zach and Kata have a good conversation, but Zach was cracking me up, co-signing almost everything that Kata was saying. Like if Kata was like, I like purple, Zach would have been like, oh, I also really like purple too. Like I have some purple shoes, like it was like a night and day difference between Kata's date with Zach versus her date with Bryce. I feel like Bryce's avocado princess is not here. Back at the villa, the girls are telling Sean, because Sean is confused on why Bia was not standing on a green circle. And so the girls are kind of telling him that she was just trying to be open. Like she does want to explore. And then they ask him what his type is. And then he says that Trinity had him starstruck. And like, throughout these episodes, you're gonna see Sean saying stuff like this, but like I feel like he never acts on it. Like I would love to see Sean pull Trinity for a conversation and really go for it. You know what I mean? I mean, he can't right now because she's off with the bombshells, but when she comes back, pull her for a chat, then talk to her. And then Anaya was saying that Sean was in her top 2. So it's like, Sean, pull these other girls for chats. What are you doing? Then we find out that Gabriel had a relationship for 5 years. And I feel like, who was it that asked that? Bia. I feel like Bia didn't ask any follow-up questions when he said he had been in a relationship for 5 years. Like, why did it end? What happened? Did y'all grow apart? Was it a move? Were y'all long distance and it just wasn't working? Like what happened? I don't know. I feel like Bia doesn't ask any real questions, but I did like how Bia opened up. It was really sweet. It was really cute. I did like seeing her a little bit more vulnerable and a little bit more soft, and I like that she felt comfortable enough with Gabe to do that and to show that kind of side of herself. So that was cute. Because then we see Gabe's date with Trinity and she's asking more in-depth questions as opposed to surface level type things, and I do feel like they had a good conversation, but I'm still not seeing much, if any, chemistry between these two. So Trinity's man is coming. He's just not here yet. I'm just waiting on him to get there. Even though it cracked me up when Trinity, because Gabe is 26, I believe. So Trinity was asking if he is starting to like look for somebody to settle down with, maybe have kids, because he is getting close to his 30s. And Gabe was like, settle down? I can't. That's a big word for Elmo. I'm backtracking a little bit because Kata went on the date with Bryce. Again, it was giving friendship. But the fact that when Bryce was asking what's her type, and Kata was like, I go for the more like darker features. The fact that her and Zach are on such an even playing field that they are both looking for pretty much the same thing. Like, okay, so we pop back over to the villa. It is the next day, so everybody's getting breakfast and stuff. Kenzie is talking about how Sean made her breakfast and that made her giddy. And babes, why are you getting giddy over breakfast? Even in Love Island, that's bare minimum to show that you are interested in one of the girls, is to make her and bring her breakfast. Like, Kenzie, let's slow down. And then I feel like Anaya low-key shot her shot with Sean in the bathroom, because she was telling him how like she wants to be there for him because he was still, you know, kind of reeling from Bia's decision to continue to explore. Even though we're gonna see that this doesn't go anywhere. Like, even when episode 1, Trinity and him were kissing, like, it was obvious there was chemistry there. When Anaya is talking to him in the bathroom, it's obvious there might be something a little bit there to pursue. Like, I need Sean to get on his P's and Q's, as Trinity would say, step his cookies up and pull these girls for chats. Talk to them, see if it's something there. I don't know. Sean is giving us really not much. So everyone gathers at the fire pit. Trinity was low-key irritated that Bryce was looking kind of happy at being potentially picked. Sean was very irritated though, seeing Bia walk back in. So it's now decision time. Gabriel has to lock his answer in with a kiss on who he wants to choose, because it is time for recoupling, obviously, because of these 2 new bombshells. So he chooses Bea. I'm not mad at that. I do think out of Bea and Trinity, he and Bea had the most chemistry. Kata is up next. She chooses Zach, again to the surprise of no one. So by default, Trinity and Bryce go back together. They're happy, they're content with this. But again, it's giving friendship couple, but I'm also not mad at it, because again, I like the fact that my girl Trinity has options. Kenzie and Sean stand in front of the fire pit. It's revealed that both Sean and Kenzie are now single and vulnerable. Episode 3, we pick right back up where we left off. Zach finds out that Kenzie stood on the green dot. He feels bad, as he should, even though, again, I feel like Kenzie was set up to fail, because Zach was making it kind of obvious he was not into that girl. Bea and Gabe already have a lot of these like innuendos and like sexual tension and stuff going on. I feel like it's enough. We get it. Y'all are attracted to each other. We can see that. Calm down. But the flirting in Spanish was cute. And again, this is what I want to see. Bring back flirting. So Kato is talking to Anaya, Kenzie, and Melanie. But I was wondering, where was Trinity? But then we find out she's talking to Bryce. So I was like, oh, okay. Trinity was just telling Bryce basically there wasn't a romantic spark between them on her side. Sean and Kenzie talk. Zach comes up to try to pull Kenzie for a chat and probably explain himself, but Kenzie's like, I don't want to talk to you. And so Zach leaves, and you know, he's downstairs telling everybody like, you know, she didn't want to talk to me, and everybody's like, oh, what? And that, I feel like that was a little exaggerated. Like, guys, it was obvious that girl was not going to talk to that man. And Sean and Kenzie are kikiing because of what Kenzie just did. You know, she starts picking him off and stuff. Like, we get it, my girl, you're hurt, but calm that down. Trinity says Bryce is growing on her in her confessional, and I'm like, no ma'am, I don't want this for you. So it's morning, so it finally starts getting a little messy. Sean wants to talk to Anaya, but he doesn't tell Anaya this though. He's talking to one of the guys or something, I think. I guess because Trinity and Bryce have been talking a little bit more recently and he doesn't want to step on any toes. He doesn't pull her, because it's not my notes, he doesn't pull her for a chat. So again, why is Sean telling everybody but the people he's interested in that he wants to talk to them? I don't understand that. Sincere pulls Kato for a chat, and this didn't really go anywhere. Like, there was no real chemistry between these two. I'm not even gonna hold you. But they do end up bonding over a couple things. So again, it's giving cute, it's giving friendship, but it's not giving like immediate spark. Zach and Bea talk about how Zach should approach the combo with Kenzie. I did like that he kind of asked for her advice, but he was cracking me up by saying that like, it's so cool how you seem to know what I should say. Yes, because Bea is a woman in tune with her emotions. Of course she's gonna know how you should approach this conversation. As they were talking, because Zach kept saying like, write that down. I need to write that down. And I just thought of that SpongeBob meme. Write that down. Kenzie and Gabe go for a chat, and both Bea and Zach are like, oh, what's going on there? Like, Bea is definitely interested in Gabe, even though I thought they were just both here for a good time, not a long time. But it looks like my girl is actually interested in this man. Oh dear. Melanie and I talk, and she's telling Melanie that Sincere pulled Kata. Melanie is annoyed by this. I don't know. Again, I feel like this is Love Island. Let's all chill on these connections. But I feel like because everybody is moving in a closed off manner so quickly, it is making all of these situations a bit sticky. I also feel like the way Sincere talks to Melanie, it did not give. He was super open to all these other people, so I can understand why she was a little mad. Bea talked to somebody and she's talking about how she's gonna ask Gabe first about the conversation with Kenzie because she does not feel like Kenzie will tell her the truth. That was a yellow flag. That was a yellow flag to me, because why are you automatically assuming that Kenzie's not gonna tell you the truth about the interaction? Because if anything, why not talk to Kenzie first? Because your problem is the fact that Kenzie talked to Gabe. So if you're gonna have a problem with Kenzie, why not talk to Kenzie first? But whatever, that's neither here nor there. Because it's time for another game. Each person will read a fun fact and then decide who it belongs to, and then they'll push their choice into the pool, reveal who the answer is, and then we will all kiki and all laugh. So I'm just gonna do the fun ones. I don't remember all of them, but one of them was who forgot their hookup's name. It turned out to be Zach. Kata does not like that. She's like, he better not ever forget mine. But I don't know, I feel like if it's a hookup, it's not really all that serious, so it makes sense. Well, nah, because that's still kind of a yellow flag, because you're talking to somebody before you hook up with them, so why would you not remember their name? Yeah, I thought I was gonna give him some leeway. No. Next. Who slept with a 52-year-old? It was Gabe. I'm shocked but not surprised, because Gabe does give that. Who's broken up with and then slept with someone else that same day? The answer was Sean. A lot of the girls are like, oh, big yikes, because this is when we find out that after Sean's 10-year relationship ended, that same day he went to hang out with his friend, his boys, whatever. His boys texted some people, they came over, maybe they had a party, maybe they had a little kickback, whatever. Somebody ends up blowing up a blow-up mattress, to sleep. And then they hit the horizontal tango. And I'm like, I'm sorry, that's a little wild. In the same day, that means you broke up hours before and hours later slept with somebody else. Maybe that's how he grieved, who knows? The other one was Trinity's. When Trinity was giving her explanation and she was like, because they thought it was Kenzie, so they pushed her, it turns out it was Trinity. When Trinity was like, it was daylight savings time, I don't know what to do. I hollered, because why would that be your justification? And then who goes to the boy because he bought her an engagement ring? The answer was Melanie. Sincere says that this was a red flag. I personally don't think so, because when Melanie is explaining the situation, she says she was in high school, she was dating this guy, but she told him that she was waiting for marriage. So like the next day, the next week, he was out there buying a ring just so that he could sleep with her. That's the red flag. And I know the man who was talking about there's 8 billion people in the world and only one of me, so I have to spread the love, is not talking about red flags. Okay, Sincere. When we find out it was Sincere who texted somebody, or really who texted multiple people while he was in a relationship, he says he doesn't do that now, but like the way he was telling the story, he was kind of smiling a little bit, like he didn't think that it was that big of a deal. Melanie was like, he better not try that with me. I said, girl, Melanie, again, you looking at this stuff through the lens of this is a budding relationship. I need everybody to calm down, because I know it's not just Melanie. She just happens to be the one who's doing it most overtly. Okay. So after the game, everybody jumps into the pool. Some people start making out in the pool. Melanie is upset though, so she goes off somewhere. Sincere is in the pool looking for Melanie, because I guess he wanted to lock lips too. She not there. Melanie asked Kata how the chat between her and Sincere went. Kata let her know it wasn't really much of anything. But I feel like Melanie and Sincere just need to have a conversation so that they can both get on the same page. Because right now, the way that they were talking to each other made it seem like they were basically closed off. So if that's not the case, they just need to have that conversation so that they both are aware each other is open but likes the connection that they have. So before the episode ends, Sincere does pull Melanie for a chat. Thank goodness, but this conversation goes nowhere. It goes nowhere, because I feel like at this point Sincere waited too long to have a chat with Melanie about this, because when he starts trying to explain himself and is telling her like, look, I did talk to Kata. I do really like my connection with you. I am really feeling you. I am really liking you. Melanie is not able to really hear and process this. She's not very receptive. She's very defensive instead. And it's basically telling him like, look, I hear that you're talking, but it's just a bunch of words. I'm not registering what you're saying to me right now. And like, look, you do you, I'm gonna do me. And I feel like if maybe they had that conversation earlier, I don't know how the schedule was set up, but I feel like maybe if they had that conversation earlier, she would have been more open, maybe more receptive to what he was trying to say. But I don't know. The conversation kind of ends there with nothing really being resolved because Sincere is trying to get his point across, but Melanie is not in a headspace to be receptive of that point. I do hope that they work it out because I really do like them together. I do. But that is the end of the episode. So let me know what y'all thought down in the comments below. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really, really appreciate it. And I will see y'all on my next one. Bye, guys.